Okay, gamers. Time for probably my least favorite class, just because I sort of find them boring. But that's just me. That's my opinion. So, you all have your own. Hence the name One Button Win. Because it's boring to me. Yes. So anyways, enough of that. On to talents. Fire, Frost, Arcane, Standard. Level 15. Presence of Mind. 1.5 minute cooldown. When activated, your next mage spell with a casting time less than 10 seconds becomes an instant cast spell. Testing note, this spell is not on the global cooldown. So apparently this is a test. It's not on global cooldown. They may change that. Scorch. Scorch the enemy for 6,481 damage. Apparently this is no longer a standard spell for a mage. Ice Flows, 1 minute cooldown, allows you to move while casting and channeling the next 2 mage spells that have a base cast or channel time of less than 4 seconds. This spell may be cast while a cast time spell is in progress. Why do all these mage ones seem to be like randomly back and forth on how they say things? Level 30, Temporal Shield. 25-second cooldown, envelops you in a temporal shield for 4 seconds. Damage taken while shielded will be healed back over 6 seconds. This spell is usable while stunned, frozen, incapacitated, feared, or asleep. Blazing Speed, 25-second cooldown. Suppress movement slowing effects and increase your movement speed by 150% for 1.5 seconds. May only be activated after taking a melee or spell hit greater than 2% of your total health, or after you kill an enemy that yields experience or honor. This spell may be cast while a cast time spell is in progress. Ice Barrier. Instantly shields with a 25-second cooldown. Instantly shields you, absorbing 33,391 damage. Lasts 1 minute. While the shield holds, spellcasting will not be delayed by damage. Level 45. Bunch of ice stuff. Ring of Frost, 30-second cooldown. Does the same thing it does in Cataclysm, freezes everything within a 10-yard radius, pissing people off. 20-second cooldown, Ice Ward. Places an Ice Ward on a friendly target. When the enemy strikes the target, all enemies within 10 yards will become frozen in place for 5 seconds. That's kind of cool. Kind of, it's sort of like Ring of Frost, but a little bit different. Frost Draw. Silences and freezes the target in place for 8 seconds, lasts half as long versus player target. So 4 seconds on PvP. Level 60. Greater Invisibility. 2.5 minute cooldown. Instantly makes the caster invisible, reducing all threat and removing 2 damage over time effects. While invisible, you are untargetable by enemies. Lasts 20 seconds. Invisibility is cancelled if you perform any actions. Damage taken is reduced by 90% while invisible and for 3 seconds after coming out of invisibility. Replaces regular invisibility. Cauterize. An attack which would otherwise kill you will instead bring you to 50% of your maximum health, and you will burn for 40% of your maximum health over the next 6 seconds. Okay. Cauterize cannot occur more than once every 2 minutes. Cold Snap, 3 minute cooldown. When activated, the spell finishes the cooldown of your Ice Block, Frost Nova, and Cone of Cold spell. Instantly restores 30% of your health. This spell is usable while stunned, frozen, incapacitated, feared, or asleep. Level 75. Nether Tempest. Places a Nether Tempest on the target, which deals 17,758 arcane damage over 12.23 seconds. Of course, with haste, that'll change. Each time Nether Tempest deals damage, an additional 50% of that damage is also dealt to a random target within 10 yards. Living Bomb. Target becomes a Living Bomb, taking 8,164 damage over 11.3 seconds. When this effect ends or target dies, it explodes to deal an additional 8,205 fire damage up to 3 enemies within 10 yards. Limit 3 targets. Frost Bomb. Places a Frost Bomb on the target after 4.71 seconds. The bomb explodes, dealing 16,426 frost damage to the primary target and 8,213 frost damage to all other targets within 10 yards. So basically these are all the same, just a difference between arcane, fire, and ice. Take your pick. Level 90, Invocation. Your evocation spell no longer has a cooldown, but you passively regenerate 50% less mana. Completing an evocation causes you to deal 30% increased spell damage for 40 seconds. That's kind of neat. Rune of Power, 10-second cooldown. Places a Rune of Power on the ground, which lasts 1 minute. While you're standing in the Rune of Power, your mana regeneration is increased by 100%, and your spell damage is increased by 15%. It would help if I could freaking read. Only 2 runes of power can be placed at one time. Replaces evocation. Incanter's Ward, 25-second cooldown. Places a magic ward on you, absorbing up to 10,015 damage for 8 seconds. Absorbed damage will restore up to 15% of your maximum mana. When this effect ends, you gain up to 30% increased spell power for 15 seconds, based on the absorption used. Passive ability increases your spell power by 8% and regenerates 1% mana every 1.88 seconds. I'm guessing that's every 2 seconds. This effect is deactivated while Incanter's Ward is on cooldown. Awesome. And of course, as you can see, it's a pre-made because I'm on my bird and have the gear that everyone else would have when they start. I'm on my bird because it's what you do when you make a pre-made. You sit on your bird all day. Birdie, birdie. This is Daniel. Have a good one.